single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip, by 1% it didn't slip. Bullish on another flip. What's the ticker? Where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab. Blew the whole shot, didn't land. Another sell-off we've been had. Not a single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip, by 1% it didn't slip. Ripping crypto like a gat. See the chart, it goes flat. White headphones on his hat. Money counter on his lap. Gold chain with the strap. Cashing out hella claps. He got Solana in the bag. What's the ticker? Where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab. Ripping crypto like a gat. See the chart, it goes flat. White headphones on his hat. Money counter on his lap. Gold chain with a strap. Cashing out hella clams. He's got Solana in the bag. What's the ticker? Where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab. Blew the whole shot, didn't land. Another sell-off we've been had. Not a single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip. By 1% it didn't slip. What's the ticker? Where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab. Blew the whole shot, didn't land. Another sell-off we've been had. Not a single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip. By 1% it didn't slip. I put the crypto on my tab. Put the crypto on my tab. Blew the whole shot, didn't land. Another sell-off we've been had. Not a single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip. By 1% it didn't slip. Take the cat. Ripping crypto like a gat. See the chart, it goes flat. White headphones on his hat. Money counter on his lap. Gold chain with a slap.
And we are back for take two. The link didn't work.
Oh, which one?
Happened.
Which one?
I made the pre-link where everybody sets
Oh,
reminders.
gotcha.
And then I pulled it up and then nothing happened. Sometimes that is a thing. I'm trying to get into Adam's DMs.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
How you doing? Say good morning. Good morning, everybody in the room. It's Saturday. Let's go.
Yes. GM, I'm doing fantastic. Another day in paradise, and I just got my coffee, and I'm just getting all the.
I got some coffee too.
Yes. You know what? Actually, the biggest fail is as I was making the coffee, it was the last of the coffee. And I don't know, that's like the worst feeling ever, because I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm like, I didn't have the foresight to know, I'm running out, I should go to the store, because and so I had enough for like 1 cup, but not the like 8-dose crazy cup that I normally make. This is only
not the regular.
This is like a dose and a half, like a scoop and a half of espresso. So
oh my god,
I might fall asleep while we're in the middle of talking. Yeah, but
that's the worst thing ever. Realizing that you're out of coffee, that rarely happens to me, because I already get anxious when I see I only have like 3 left.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why, there's got to be coffee in the house, you guys.
That's what I was thinking yesterday. I was like, ooh, I'm running low. I should stop by the store. But yesterday it was like, when I was like done with my day, I was kind of just like, okay, I want to go home and do nothing now. I just wanted to go to sleep. And yeah, we know how that goes. I ended up staying up super late. The same sort of thing was happening to me yesterday as well, where like at 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. I'll like wake up randomly, and I'm like, I'll have like a crazy idea, and I'm like, ooh, I got to make this. And I'll spend 5-10 minutes like creating and then go back to sleep. But it's a weird cycle. Anywho, I do have, let me see, I've got the live stream, and let me go ahead and post that up as well. And
nice, because Saturday is always a little bit more of a vault-related space. We had that 4-year celebration space like yesterday. That was really fire. Tons of people in there, and gave a few things away, and just meandered and down memory lane a little bit about the last 4 years. About Volt and the market, and it was just amazing to see there were so many OGs, right? So many people who bought within the first half a year of that project and just are still around, right? It still blows my mind. It's amazing. And Adam was in there for a little bit too, for support. I don't know, maybe Adam was not gonna make it today, but it's fine. I understand, and I see it on the timeline too, engagement wise. Everybody it's the holidays, right, for a lot of people, And this is the time where everybody, yeah, is either touching grass or making sure that the holidays are going to be a lot of fun and they're out grabbing stuff and doing extra things. So,
Touching grass or grabbing ass.
yeah,
It's
grabbing ass.
that's
Well, I wish I was grabbing ass. Oh my God.
tis the season.
Why do we have to go there, Tick?
Oh,
Why do you have to go there?
tis the
Oh my
season
God.
to grab
Yeah.
booty. I'm gonna make.
Yeah.
I put out some
Fa la
lyrics.
la
Yeah, I put out
la.
some lyrics for the "What's the Ticker." I want to make some more jingles. A "What's the Ticker"
Yeah.
Christmas jingle. That would be.
Yeah, well, look, I have so many ideas for 26 when it comes to the What's the Ticker space and have some segments in there that are fun. And we're going to have a little bit of a meeting to take with Adam there for these things. And I actually got my DJ soundboard, which was a very expensive one, but some buttons were not just doing it, and
Mm.
so there was some issues with the main board of that thing, and so I yeah, I had to take it away for some repairs there, right? Because they can fix it, and it's also still under guarantee, right? So it's still on a warranty here,
Mm.
so it's going to be back in about, I think, about 5 or 6 days, and then it's really done. And so I can have my board back and
Oh,
then
cool.
do some live DJ sessions and, can actually do these jingles right then and there. But I thought for a live stream idea of my own, I wanted to do more about doing a little bit more DJing and a little bit more music.
Yeah.
Yep,
Very
yep,
cool.
might be fun. Yep. And also, I'm gonna do my subscribers for the new year on X, and I got a little a better idea about that. And man, there's just gonna be some rebranding going on in the new year. There's just tons of stuff going on that to look forward to here in Web3, and I think also with crypto, because when the market is like this, you guys, yeah, what you can still build your brand, you can still maybe align some things that you are doing in real life, and kryptonize them, right? And do that. So there's still tons to do. There's still tons of connections to be made, conversations to be had, and I'm just all here for these things, right?
Mm.
Let me
Yes.
just turn the volume up a little bit. But yeah, we have you guys come on stage. It's not going to be a very long space today. I do want to touch on some X algorithm and something that we can do for communities, and then other communities can do this too. But I kind of want to address this for the Vault community, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Adam is not here to then talk about Sang Token and the leaderboards, but I thought it would be fun to yeah, to engage with that a little bit more, pertaining to Vault Inu, and maybe have a leaderboard for them to be talking more in spaces. It's nice. It incentivizes people to come up on stage just a little bit more, and you get some more tokens this way, right? You get to add to your back this way. Or maybe some other things that can be given away as leaderboard prizes, maybe some real life products, right? Just like we had with Undone and Williams Racing, and I'm expecting that watch, that one that limited edition watch to come in into. There's only like six, and one of them is gonna land over here at Wilds. Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to getting that before Christmas. Tick. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Very cool.
But yeah, we can now look also for products, and it might be nice then for the community to go ahead and look out for products that can be combined this way, you guys, right? So yeah, let's say a coffee company or something like that, and how about get vaulted coffee or something like that, right? You can do limited editions and then have the leaderboard be a very good way to advertise not only for the coffee brand then, but then the coffee branded crypto related, right? So there's that Web2 connection that we can make, and that would be super bullish. And this is just one example, but it can be, of course, many. Can be many. And so let's say good morning to Debbie right here. Hey, Debbie, how you doing? I see you making moves on.
I see you making moves here. Yeah, Jim, Wild, Tic, I see you, Jim, Casey, everyone on the space,
Mm-hmm.
Rex, Jim. Oh, everyone is rocking a particular, what do I call it? Is this lightning? Wow,
We see you.
I
We
look
hear you.
awkward right now.
We see you. We hear you.
How are you doing, Wild? I've been fine though. I've been trying to, make up all these comments on X, build up my engagement and all of that.
Yeah.
So that is what's up. So I've been so locked in on that, trying to, get my paycheck up. So yeah, that
Yes.
is that. Yes. What is going on, Wow? How are you doing?
Well, we do have some latency with you and the space, so if you're not talking, then close the mic. Thank you very much. I'm trying to get the space now back up on the app, and I
On
can't.
the
So
app,
I,
and I can't. So
I
can't you
can't.
hear me? I can. Can you hear me?
As I
Yes.
can hear you.
Yes, I
Yeah,
can hear you. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking you didn't hear me.
Well,
Like,
but we're getting feedback from
we're getting
your
feedback.
microphone, Dabby. Whenever Wilder speaks, we're hearing your speakers project her voice. So it's either like a volume setting, or if you have headphones, they're helpful. Or just mute your mic whenever you're not talking, which it sounds like that's kind of what you're doing now. But yeah, we can hear your speakers playing in the background when Wilder was talking.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just a heads up.
Yeah, and I need to do a round trip because for me this space is stuck. But I
Oh,
guess you guys can still hear me, but
yeah.
I cannot see in the space anymore, nor can I pull people up on stage and that kind of stuff, Take, because I can't see the space.
Oh, what?
It's
Okay.
actually,
What do you
yeah,
think caused that?
I don't know what causes it. I already looked if there was an update for
Yeah.
X, but there wasn't. So I guess this is just a glitching, just like a regular glitch that we sometimes experience. But
Jeez.
yeah, it does mean that I cannot see you guys. I'm just going blind here, or else I need to leave the space again.
It's
Um,
probably China or
it's
Russia.
China. Of
It's
course, it's
I
China.
heard it's Russia and China.
Russia,
Dude,
China.
oh my gosh, I'm so curious about the Epstein files. Did you see all the redacted images? We don't have to talk about it, but did you see it? Because
Yeah.
it was comical. Everything is blacked out and censored, and they turned that in to be like, oh yeah, here you go. And they're like, no, you can't just redact 98% of the files and then pretend like that's turning them in. That's craziness.
Yeah. That's
Jeez.
usually what happens,
Well,
right?
yeah,
And
I
yeah.
envy you that you don't live in the U.S. where it's like there's so much like stupidness going on constantly. It's just kind of embarrassing. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is our leader.
Yeah, this
Don't
is what
mind
we're
him.
talking about.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, you guys. But yeah, no,
Go ahead.
not a thing. Nor should you be looking at that stuff because that's just designed to get you distracted, right? It's this is all distraction because what does it do really, right? What does it do really? And then the more you get into it, the more you notice that there's really not a lot of meat to the bone, other than a whole lot of conspiracy and theories, and the truth is already buried with these things and we're never going to know, right? And so don't be distracted because the same shit is happening right now in the world too that we don't know about, right? So
Mm,
don't get too distracted on things that happened in the past because there are things happening in this day and age that we're not looking at because we're distracted. That could be a reason why, right?
yeah.
But let us talk a little bit about a Bitcoin before I move over
Oh
to some
yes.
X business then. And so here's a bit of an article. So Bitcoin RSI nears 3-year lows versus gold as analyst sees a bullish comeback. I also see a bullish comeback. Actually, my scenario for this year would be that we are going to retest the 1.1 Fibonacci level, which we kind of took. We took it, but we're going to have to see if that holds as support. That would correspond with that biweekly RSI being below 20 points. At least the signal is. Now, the trend line isn't. And in order to confirm that bounce, that trend line of the RSI then also need to bounce off of 20 points. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to see in the wintertime because it's on a 2 week, and we have to going to see in the wintertime what does that then look like. So for me it's a scenario that 70K would be a bottom, anywhere between 70 and 80 would be that zone, and take that as support, then we pump again. There's something in my chart that I charted that says September, we're gonna either reverse for another all-time high or print the all-time high there, and that's just based on some timing indicators that I've been trying to build over the years. Anyway, So I do see a bullish continuation for Bitcoin in 26. It's just that what's going to happen before there. Now, if we're going to lose that 70K area, that when we lose that, we are heading for 200 days of bearish price action, you guys. That's just what's up with that, right? So we know if we lose that 50, we're going to look for another 200 days of trouble here. And if we hold the 15 pounds from there, then we can actually quickly be back in a bull run again with Bitcoin. And this is all, of course, going to be historically new things for Bitcoin and the market, the crypto market to do. But there has been many new things that this market has been doing that it didn't do before either. So yeah, what supports that theory is tons of bottom indicators. So we are looking at uh, bear market bottom sentiment lows in a row, right? Historically. We are now so many days in max pain. Usually that only happens with a bear market bottom, right? So we have all these. The RSI is down to the signal is already through 20 points. So we gotta hold the 20. That means that we're macro in oversold conditions already, right? So how low can we go? Well, not really that low then, right? And so these are all things that are supporting that a little bit. Of course, the dominance and no release of that dominance has been a conversation point for the last like 2 or 3 years even. So, but key points here are Bitcoin drops to 20 ounces of gold for the first time since early 24. And this represents a border between bull and bear market territory. A 3-year Bitcoin uptrend versus gold is now almost lost. Yes, we are in a bear market, right? We're not in a bull run anymore, you guys. In order for us to continue having that bull run argument, people say, no, we're still in a bull run. Yeah, that I would agree with that. If we close this month above 104.8, that is going to be the target for us to have the argument that we are in a bull run. So clearly we are not. Anything below is a no. So analyst from crypto trader and entrepreneur Michael van der Poppe on Saturday predicted more upside on the horizon for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has struggled in gold as terms as precious metal stays near all-time high through quarter four. The crypto market corrected, right? So data from Cointelegraph Markets and TradingView shows that Bitcoin and the gold has now traded around 20 ounces and at lowest levels since 24. For Van der Poppe, however, he says opportunity is in the air because the last time the markets have hit their low, that was the moment that Bitcoin USDT slash gold has hit the low as well. One of them is getting overvalued and one of them is getting undervalued, right? So in his thesis, it's like gold is getting overvalued, but Bitcoin is at the same time getting undervalued, and that somehow creates a more bullish momentum. So historical comparisons show that each Bitcoin bear cycle, the weekly relative strength index, the RSI, dropping into oversold territory below 30, marked a long-term bottom for the pair. Yes, exactly. Like I already said on forehand, that RSI being already, the signal is already below 20 points, by the way, on the biweekly. So the best part on the daily time frame, it starts to make a bullish divergence, signaling that there is more upside on the horizon in the short term. Right, while the daily RSI begins to move in the opposite directions of the price, the weekly currently sits at 29.5. This is for the gold Bitcoin chart, carving out lows that not seen in nearly 3 years. So yeah, this is again, right, the argument for upside things to happen. But is this going to be upside to catapult us back into a bull run, or is this a Hail Mary pump basically where we are not getting enough and then still have to go to the 70K level? Oh, yeah, look, the space is back for me. So, if you just hang around long enough, you win. Something
Hell
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, Debbie's gone, but was glitching with microphone as well. Da-da-da-da. And so, yeah, that's what's going on broadly in the market. Of course, we're bullish on Bitcoin. Some are saying 189K Bitcoin. Yes, I believe that is going to do that. It's just a matter of when, right? And it's not going to happen next month. That is just for sure. So, am I bullish? Yes, macro bullish. Bitcoin for me is 5, 10 years from now. Some bags that I have are also into the years and not months, right? Now, am I disappointed? No alt season, quarter four. That was kind of what we were looking at when we look at historical movement of the crypto markets, and it didn't happen. So, am I disappointed? Yes. I would have wanted some alts to be moving, but yeah, at time, consistency always equals success, and if you believe, you believe, right? Then it's just going to be a thing. So let's have a look at some other tokens because ICA was holding up pretty well. And let's have a look at the Volt Inu chart as well. That has been making some waves as well, right? As of the 11th of December, so the last 9 days, very much price action on the Volt Inu chart, right? And so, yeah, if you know, you know. Yeah, your ICA has been moving. I'm looking to put in a long there as well on Monday. I've been talking a little bit about IO for your on the perpetuals futures with IO. Also a nice it was a nice trade and up to date 7% on the daily as well. And so these things are for trading because Wild does trading. And these are charts that I was looking at in particular the last days. Yes, very much. Tic, you would be happy to see that ICA is creating some waves too.
Yeah, it's still moving within a 30% range. It's kind of glued to this position. I mean, it's been moving relatively sideways. There's some volatility, but this price that it's at today is the same price it's been at for a minute here.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's about the price action that it makes.
Mm.
That represents that tells you that there is people watching it, there's people trading it, there's volume.
For
When
sure.
there's volume, there's eyes on it. There's
Yeah.
people who are buying and selling and buying and selling. So there's interest in the project.
Right.
That's what it tells you, and that's always a good thing,
Right.
right?
That
Yeah.
was the biggest indicator for me was when I went onto the liquidity pools on turbos and then I looked at the volume that was on ICA. I was like, oh, there's a lot of trading going. That was like the first thing that kind of drew me to it. The volume, let me see. I'm looking at it right now on turbos. ICA USDC is only $1,000 for the last 24 hours. That seems low. ICA SUI 197. Damn, it seems like volume is down like a hell of a lot. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize that. But when I was first looking at the liquidity pools, it was much higher. The volume was much higher, and the percentage on the return was way higher too. Right now, they're at like normal numbers. Like,
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
kind of weird.
So let's
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit. Let's touch a little bit because this might be interesting for the Vault community as well, right? How to take profits and how to trade liquidity pools in the tokens that you love the most, right? So how to be a good holder, and but still being able to trade without trading on the chart. And so for Vault Inu, that would basically mean that you have to, and maybe you can do that with us, Tick on the live streams,
Mm-hmm.
that you go to Pancake Swap because that is where BNB resides for that change. So you go to Pancake Swap. I'm gonna do it too with you here. Pancake Swap. Pancake Swap. We're gonna go there. You're gonna go to Earn, and then you're gonna go to Liquidity Pools. Now there you can add your tokens in the USDT pair or your USDC pair for Vault. For the ticker Vault, right? And add to the liquidity pool. This is also going to stabilize the price of the token then as well. You can do it two-sided. That means that you're selling whenever there is pumps, you're buying whenever the chart goes down, right? And so for that trading out of your pool, you are earning 0.5% fees. I think on Pancake it's 0.5%. Yeah. And so, if you just want to roll out of the trade completely, you set up what is called a single-sided liquidity pool. So you're not adding the pair, the USDT, USDC against it. You are going to trade it just the Volt Inu part, and you're going to set it in range that you want to sell it in, right? And so you open single-sided, so only on the selling side, and then you're going to set your range in between what and what you want to sell that whole bag in. Now, the beauty of this is that, yes, you get fees, right, for trading, for having a liquidity pool. It stabilizes the price of the token because the token volatility, the price impact is always determined by how much liquidity there is to market cap ratio. And so you're helping the project by adding liquidity to it. So there's more liquidity, which stabilizes then the price. And of course, if you want to sell and you don't want that to show up on the chart, right, to be an ugly big candle, then you sell single-sided through the liquidity pool as well. So it doesn't show up on the chart. It's just being traded out of your pool. Now, how does this work? Well, you can trade any pair that you like this way, right? Any pair, any token. You do not need permission. The pool is yours. These tokens were yours. And so this is a great way to still make profit, add liquidity, like I said, and support the project in this way, rather than sometimes trashing it. What people do is selling large bags. Now, look, if a token is listed on an exchange, the exchange is buying and selling, right? It might not be just, and the exchange is a holder too. And depending on what they get on order in the order book, they need to buy either more or need to sell off. And so sometimes you see big moves and movement on the chart. Basically, the bigger wallets, the exchange wallets, then trading in and out as well. So, but yeah, other than that, it's going to be fantastic because adding liquidity is always a good idea. You want to support the project. Plus, you're making fees, especially if you have a large bag, right? You're making fees, and you either end up with USDT or USDC, depending on the pair, or you end up with more vault. So for you as a holder, if you love the project, this is going to be an even Steven good thing,
Yeah.
right?
That's what I did with
Because
Ika and ended up
yeah,
with
yeah,
more Ika. Yeah.
yeah. So for the community, guys need to look in on that. If you have any questions around that, you can always DM me. But it's very easy to do, for especially for the BNB side, right? You go to Pancake. And for Ethereum, that would be your and is that
Uniswap?
still Uniswap? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. V4. Yeah. So yeah, you go to earn and then liquidity pools and farms, and there you can have see all the pools, and you look up, you can create the pool, you can add liquidity, so you can go ahead and do all of that. If you need more information, you can DM me. Also have a look on YouTube. There is, like, you can set up a pool within 3 minutes. It's not really rocket science, right? But especially if you're holding a lot, I mean, 0.5% trading that you earn on fees, how is that not wonderful, right? Then the bag just sitting there, maybe doing nothing or waiting for bigger waves. But in the meantime, you can trade in and out of your pool and still make a good income. Okay? And like I said, the sell-offs is if you do it single-sided, so only on the sell side. Yeah, you selling, people are buying then directly from your pool. It's not showing up on the chart. So there's no panic candles, there's no nothing, and you can roll out this way if that's a thing that you want to do as well. Aubrey, everybody, you want to come up on stage if you have any questions around that? You're more than welcome to, right? I see Aubrey B. I see Vote Community showing up like always. Um, thank you very much. And I hope that's some alpha for you guys. If you've not known about this, then you really should be looking into that, because not only maybe for your vault bags, maybe you hold other bags, same thing goes there, even on other chains. Then you just have to go to the liquidity pool provider there, the liquidity layer, and see to open one there.
When
But
I
it's
go
always worth
when I
looking.
go on Uniswap and I go to explore pools, and then when I search for Volt, I can't find it on Uniswap. That's
Mm.
so weird. I don't know why.
Well, maybe in the V3 or V4, maybe you need to change that one up.
Hmm.
But the smartest thing to do, fees wise, is to do it through Pancake Swap.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
because it's all there's liquidity on BNB, so you can add on BNB side.
And in the US, I'm able to do that as well on PancakeSwap?
USDC, yeah, USDT. That's the pair.
My because yeah, I don't have so yeah, I don't even have it if there's a PancakeSwap app, I'm assuming then, right? or is it just the
Hold
web
on, I
app
see the pancake has the V3 pool. Let's see, B&B cake, B&B. Let me look up.
on Uniswap?
Yeah, yeah. You go to V3, choose a token pair, B&B Voltinu. Then you can do choose a fee level,
Where are
point
you?
zero one,
Where are you
point zero
seeing
five.
V3?
You go to make create liquidity pool,
Oh.
and there it gives you the V2 or V3 option. That's on Pancake.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at Uniswap still. I was trying
Yeah.
search token. Oh, maybe it's here. Select token, Volt XVM. That's not it. Volt Inu. Here we go.
Yes. See, got it.
Found it. Okay, so let me see. Always do your research. Uh-oh. Isn't traded on U.S. centralized
Yeah.
exchanges. I thought Volt was on centralized, isn't it?
Yes,
Which
it is.
that's
Yes,
yeah, that's
it is.
incorrect. I
That's all
wonder
the
if
major.
I don't know if I have the right contract address on the one that I'm looking at on Uniswap right now though. So it's
Yeah.
always make sure you got the right CA too, right?
Yeah, you need to write CA for that stuff to happen for real.
Fuck.
But here I can add B&B against Volt B&B pair. I can do the um, I can open up a USDT pair as well.
Hey, get down here.
And then you could change. You have your fee levels, use market price, and then the minimum price. The price range is the minimum price and the maximum price. So a good idea is to set your make sure that your chart is set to then the price, not the market cap. Some liquidity pools are doing it in market cap, right?
Right,
So
right.
then you need to change. Then you need to change your chart and what you're looking at to represent market cap in order for you not to make mistakes here and be trading out of range quickly, right? So so that is a little bit of a thing then too.
What about setting? Is it bearish to set the range like super wide, like in a? It's like kind of
Well,
obvious. I did
look,
this. I
no,
set
it's
it in a.
smart to do. So if it's low cap, it's
Yeah,
going to be volatile. If it's low cap, the range is not 5%. When it pumps,
yeah.
it often pumps then in a 20%
So
range.
what if I set
And
like
so
a
you want to set it.
50% range? What if I set it
Yeah,
super high? Then I
yeah, but then you're not getting any fees because if it's the price not getting there, your pool is not getting traded.
right there's yeah. It says that my APR is 3,643%,
That's crazy.
but
Yeah.
like what does that translate to in real life? Like what are those real numbers like when you because of the volume that's going through right now? There's no volume on ECA USDC right now. The volume is
Yeah.
it's so bad. Well, the APRs, I'm sorry. That was incorrect. The wallet was telling me a different APR. It fluctuates. Right now it's at 119%. But it fluctuates. But that's with the range that's set. I think I put like a 35% range because I noticed that it was moving up and down about 30%. It was
Yep.
between 0.07 and 0.012 basically, so it's about a 35% range. And I was like, well, if I just make it like super wide so it's always within range, then hypothetically I could farm rewards. But
Yes.
so what's the worst possible scenario? What's the worst that
You
could
end up
happen?
with more ICA. That's the worst scenario.
Yeah, okay.
If you do this
Cool.
for volts, you end up with more volts.
Well, I want to tell you about something really stupid I did then because I don't know how I did this. I lost 20,000 ECA, and I'm not sure how. Like, I don't know how. I know that I had like a certain number in there, and then
Yeah.
and then when I looked, okay, so now
Then
it's
you should have more what you traded
the
against. So if you
USDC.
traded ICA
Oh,
against SUI or ICA against USDT, it just means what you're trading it against is that you get either. So if I trade BNB Volt together,
yeah,
which means that I need to add BNB and Volt just in the same amounts, right? For that
right,
liquidity pool.
right.
So,
Okay, I
and
know what I
then
did
I
then.
either end up with more BNB or more Volt
Right.
Inu, depending on the price
I had
action.
done I had
Yeah.
done SUI, so I ended up with more SUI instead of ICA. So it converted some of my
Yeah.
ICA into SUI,
Yeah.
and so I was thinking, I'm
Yeah.
like, how did I lose 20,000 tokens? Because
Yeah, well,
it's not
then
much. It's like
it
two
means
hundred
that you
bucks.
have more SUI, right? It's
Yeah.
always better because you're trading in range. This LP trading is basically you're trading in a range. Now, if you have big bags, big holders do this a lot
Uh huh.
because sometimes hodling is a great thing, but with hodling, you can also earn fees when
Right.
you hodl in a liquidity
It
pool
makes
like this.
sense to me. Like,
It makes sense, yes, especially if we are in sideways markets, right?
right. Or
Because
what about in the
that's where
bear?
it's
What about when it's
beautiful.
pulling back though? Is
Well,
that bad
then,
because you could hypothetically get wrecked. Let's say it drops like
yeah, you can.
60% and then
Yeah,
it'll convert your whole bag
well,
into
no,
no? Oh, it
you
wouldn't.
set a range, right?
Uh-huh.
So if it's out of range, the
Right,
pool
right.
ain't working no more.
Right, right.
So that's why your range setting is important,
And
right?
tell me
And
this,
or else it's,
you can't get
yeah.
more wrecked when it's out of range, right? Like when it's out of range, nothing's happening
It's
to
out of
your
range, no more
liquidity
trading.
pool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. And so, and then the other pitfall would be if it rips up, let's say it goes up like
yeah.
500x
Then
or
you're selling out.
500%.
Yeah, and
But
then you end up with the SUI or the BNB, whatever
right,
you got it against, and you'll be priced out. Then you got to
right,
wait
right.
and buy back in and
Mm-hmm,
set
mm-hmm.
another range. Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, the way that the
yeah.
market's been moving, I haven't been too scared of that
Well,
like the last couple
I
months.
had a pool on XRP because I'm a very large holder there.
Yeah.
So for me, it made sense to have a liquidity pool trading there, especially because that token tends to move sideways nicely
Yeah.
in a range.
It's got a
And
ceiling
so,
too. Like it has like a
yeah, it's
certain
got a
level that
ceiling
you can
clearly.
predict and
Yeah,
be like, oh, I'll put the
yeah.
top range.
And
Yeah,
so, yeah.
three
And so
dollars fifty cents.
a very tight range of 5%
Mm-hmm.
there because it's higher
Wow.
market
Oh,
cap
because
also
it
as well.
moves in such a tight,
Yeah.
channel. Yeah.
Yeah, such a tight channel, and then money in, money out, money in, money out, and I just make fees. So do I end up with more tokens? Not per se,
Right.
but I'm making money on the fees.
Right.
The money is moving, the bag
Yeah.
is working, right?
That's the way to do it. Like
Yeah,
I've kind of like
yeah,
been thinking about it in my head, like trying to wrap my head around it. I'm like, how could you maximize this? Like really
yeah.
take advantage of it because it's like this opportunity seems great, but it's like if you don't know what you're doing, I've lost money doing it
Yeah,
multiple times, and so
yeah.
I've still been like trying to figure out, okay, what did I do wrong this
You
time,
need to do research. Yeah,
but because when hypothetically the idea is that with a large amount of money I would like to do it eventually, so I'm doing it with amounts of money where I can afford to lose it. Essentially, it's like I know whatever I'm putting into the liquidity pool, it's like it's like practice money pretty much, um
yeah.
but
Do that when you first are doing it out. Do like $5 worth or something, just
well, I was doing
to
a little
fuck
more
around
than
and
that,
find
like
out.
100 times
Yeah,
that, but
but yeah, no, well, yeah, it's a way to, but you got to practice it and you got to do it, execute,
right.
right? Don't sit there and be like, this is rocket
Well, yeah,
science. It's
because in
not.
my
It's just
head,
you
I'm like,
taking used to.
if you did it with 50 grand, let's say 1,000 next to my bag, and then I had 50 grand in there, I'm like, the fees, there's times where I'd be making $200 a day just on fees, looking at what or no, if 1,000 X to my bag, there's days where I've got like maybe $10 in 24 hours. So yeah, that would be $10,000 in
Yeah,
rewards.
I had a 15,000 bag on
And
XRP
you're making
pool
like a
there.
grand some days or $500 on some days.
Yeah, well, if there's volume, yes. If there's no
Right.
volume, then
That's
you're
the
just sitting there
caveat,
just like
isn't
the
it?
rest of you. Yeah, of course.
For
But everything
sure.
in the market is volume related.
Shit.
If you trade futures,
Yeah.
boom, that's volume related. If whether it's short or
Right,
long,
right.
right? If the market is
Damn.
standing still like
Mm-hmm.
it does in the weekends, that's
Right.
why I'm not trading on the weekends. There's nothing to
Right.
trade here,
Yeah.
right?
And volume just keeps slipping too. It's got to be because
Yeah.
people are selling this shakeout. I was telling somebody because one of my buddies that is in real life that is into crypto as well, and him and I have been DCAing SUI together. And yesterday he asked me in like such a serious tone. He's like, "Dude, are we cooked?" He's like,
Are we wrecked?
yeah, is it over? He's like, is it over? And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, I think that this shakeout, I mean, not that my opinion means anything, but I was like, I think that this shakeout was like the actual shakeout. And I'm like, I still think that we could pull back to maybe, the high 70s, 77 down to what, like even
Yeah, well,
73,
I
right?
have orders there as well. I
Wow.
don't mind Sui going down. I can buy some more of that too, and because Sui is going to do an ugly bid as well.
Yeah.
And look, B&B, you guys, same thing. B&B, well, I bought B&B at $80, and I've been hodling.
It's like the
Boom,
number one.
$1,200. What the
It's
fuck? Yeah, but
what
yeah,
number
but how
is
long?
it?
How long?
Uh-huh.
Look at that chart and see how long it took B&B to even do that.
Well, what about on
So
DeFi Llama? Is there stats? Is it
yeah, you
DeFiLlama.com?
could pull up. Yeah,
So
you
if I go
yes.
on there, I can see BSC, and then Da, da, da. What? It's BSC, right?
Base, yeah,
No, no, no. For
base,
Binance, I'm
base
sorry.
chain.
Which
Yeah,
is?
base chain
Oh, I see. I see. That is
used to
it.
be. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
and yeah, I don't ever mess with Binance, so I don't really know. But
yeah,
how can I see the like the total outflow? Who's basically in the lead as far as like volume goes? Because Binance, I was recently watching something, and they were saying Binance is like the freaking like head honcho. Is basically like what
yeah,
they're,
yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah.
makes sense because the leverage trade. It was something to do with CZ, and it
Well,
was yeah.
log tag,
Go ahead.
BNB was the chain before Solana
Right,
was used
right.
widely. It was that was concentrated on BNB,
Oh, I'm looking at
and
it now.
so
Here it is,
yeah,
6.43%. So Ethereum, 68.28%. I don't know exactly what this is. This is just chains that I'm looking at. So is this volume on
yeah,
chains?
yeah,
But yeah, BSC is number 4. So damn,
yeah,
Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, BSC. So it is
yeah,
like the number one besides the most obvious, right?
yeah,
Ethereum,
yeah.
Solana, and Bitcoin are like the most obvious, but what comes after that? Is it Base? Is it Tron? Is it Arbitrum? Is it AVAX? No, it's
Well,
it's
look, if
BSC.
you
It's Bitcoin.
liking your what I
Binance.
used to do for when I was DJing on Sui or
Mm-hmm.
on Solana, is just to have my Telegram bot tell me what the daily volume was.
Mm.
And if we see on Solana a volume less than 6 billion,
Mm-hmm.
it's not worth going in the trenches for. Nothing will pump because there's no volume on chain.
Hold on. So what is it at right now? TVL is at 46 billion. No, the 24-hour DEX volume 3 billion. I see what you're saying. Wow, I've never
Yeah,
looked at these metrics. I mean, you've told
yeah,
me to look at them and I've glanced at them, but
yeah.
these are super important and it's easy to forget to
These are
look at
important.
this.
Yes,
Yeah, this is
yes,
huge.
yes.
Yeah,
There.
DeFiLlama.com for anyone that's listening that's kind of like, what
Huh?
the hell are they talking about? It's a way to look at like the different chains, the different protocols,
Hmm.
and get
Yeah.
like the breakdown very clearly articulated in black and white of what's
Well,
going on.
see how the money moves,
Mm-hmm.
and then look. I want to tell you guys something.
Yes.
This world is not fair. Making money also not fair. You do good every day and expect good back. Yeah, that's a trap.
Yeah, ain't that the
It's
truth?
about positioning yourself. That's what it's about. You cannot have a weak person sit on a strong chair.
Wow.
He will not be sitting there for long. It
Mm.
would be uncomfortable. So it's about position.
Mm-hmm.
And when for my subscribers later on at X, I'm gonna make sure to give big master classes and courses on how to correctly position yourself, not just financially, but also personally for life. And we got to toss away with some ideas that somehow being a martyr is a good thing, because it's absolutely not. It's getting you wrecked, right? It actually keeps you stuck in a position where people are making money off of you
Yeah.
all the fucking
Look at
time,
Joan of
or
Arc.
take advantage of your time here on earth. And this is actually the currency that means the most, right?
Mm.
Our attention and our time that we have in our day.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot
So,
of dystopian things about AI warnings, and they're talking
mm,
about, they're like, OpenAI isn't trying to change the world. They just want your attention. And I'm like thinking
yeah.
about it, and I'm like, damn, they're
That's how
saying,
they change the world, though,
yeah,
because it's all about the information stream and who owns it, right?
right,
Who
right.
is given information and who is eating up that information,
Yeah.
and we all know this. We all know this.
Well, them stealing
You're
your data too. We're all just willfully
stealing your
giving us,
data, stealing your brain power, right?
yeah,
Stealing everything,
dude.
and
And the
it's no
people that are being
joy.
driven insane, the people, I hate to say it, but there's been a couple suicides. There's been people that have
Mhm.
been like institutionalized. I heard about a guy that spent, God, was it? It was like 6 days, like like in a psych ward because of some Chat GPT influence stuff. But at the same time, it's like with great power comes great responsibility. So I mean, I feel like, don't get me wrong, I'm a
Well,
huge
this is
fan of
just one
AI.
big fat experiment, but
Mm,
just know that these AIs are created by us,
yeah.
and so they work in the same way. AI can get you to do some things, well, so can other
Or
people.
and power
It's
and
not
money.
just AI.
Yeah.
We can say that AI is now somehow capable of that, but we as people can damage other people in the exact same way.
Mm.
So yeah, right. So Yeah, it's not that different somehow because it's outside of us. We now see like, oh, now we can point a finger, and we hate to point a finger at ourselves, but
Mm,
we often have that power too to make somebody's day or break somebody's day.
I love
And
that.
there are people around that put multiple people in a psych ward in their lifetime, just hanging around these people. So
Damn.
that is no. I'm just gonna say
No.
that is true.
Yeah, it is. It
That is
is.
true.
I've had that effect on people. I've just you as you said that, you reminded me of I'm not gonna go into it, but a situation I had to deal with yesterday. Of yeah, I felt like I was going insane dealing with some people that were difficult. It's nothing to related to this or Twitter or anything. This I'm talking
No,
about real
it's a
life.
but you need to
But yeah.
understand this is a dominance hierarchy,
Mm,
right? And yes, we are not the same, and that's why I say
mm-hmm,
don't glorify martyrdom here,
mm,
because you might just giving away your power where you should not, right?
mm-hmm.
And we see a lot of but I'm going to touch on that for my subscribers
Wow.
because these are spaces that are going to be just geared towards that, and
Right. Right.
it does have that crypto angle because somehow it all boils down to why we are here,
Yeah.
and of course we are here to make generational wealth,
Yeah,
right?
I hope I
But
don't do
somehow,
that. The martyrdom thing because I know
yeah,
what you're talking about. Like I've heard it or I have a vague idea of what you're talking about, and I've actually heard people that have like expressed that they're kind of like in that position or that they like are in that belief mindset.
yes.
And for me it's always like a very unattractive thing that I'm like, why would you want to shit on yourself like that? Like pardon my language, but it's like why would
Yeah,
it's
well,
like you're not
martyrdom
listen.
especially, right?
Yeah.
Martyrdom
That's
especially
yeah.
means that you are getting destroyed and then glorified,
Right. Acting like it's a
post,
positive thing.
yes,
Right.
the white
And how are you going to
post
that's
your
absolute
lifetime,
how are you going to
and that's
learn or excel or
well,
grow
you're
if
not.
you're
We look.
yeah.
That's all working from the premise that there is something in the afterlife that I get to be
Wow.
recognized, that I'm glorified in,
Yo,
and that's just
okay.
not the
I
case.
didn't think about
So
that
it's like
connection.
it's even worse, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's even worse.
Oh
It's like yeah,
man.
you're getting the gains from
And
it,
that's
but
wow. That's
yeah,
insane. Because to me, I'm
it,
like, how that sounds insane. But if
yeah,
there's
it
an
is insane.
idea of an afterlife, then it's like, oh no, but I get a second chance, or I get like some reward, or like
No,
another
yeah, there
chance
I
to do
get to
it.
sit there somehow and then see how people are glorifying me.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh
isn't
man,
that
that's good.
inherently narcissistic then, that martyrdom? It
Right.
is.
Damn. Yeah. Like the
It's
center of
just
the
the same.
universe.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing that the people that you were against are doing because you're entering the dynamic. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying. If as soon as you enter the arena of what you are against, you are also it.
Yeah.
Don't ever forget this, right?
Well,
Because you're in the same arena.
did
You
you
now
see?
stepped in.
Did you
Yeah.
see? To piggyback off of what you're saying, creators post, and it's like a video, and it starts off. It's like two skeletons reading books, and it says, "Imagine reading a book with no way to turn back the page." And then it says, "How carefully would you read it?" And I know that's kind of a weird loose connection that I'm making, but like that's it, that's kind of the idea of like there not being an afterlife or whatever. It's like if you only get one
Yeah.
chance,
Well.
are you gonna blow it acting like a moron?
Well, I'm gonna play it on a safe side. Nobody ever came back, and I do have my
Yeah.
everybody needs some, but what we cannot
Hmm.
explain, we often attribute to a higher power,
It's like don't
and
count
maybe
on it.
there is a higher power,
Yeah.
but nobody ever came back to tell me, and so I got to work with what I got here, and so I'm just gonna have to see this as a finite game,
Right.
and then do my best to move with that, and then if the bonus is there that we are gonna just huddle
Right.
on a little harder
Right.
somewhere else,
That's funny.
then I'm even in a better position there, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's like
so
don't
yeah.
count on it. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. That's like freaking
Uh
you learn that.
gotta take
Or
it on
does
a
the
day.
chicken do they hatch first, or does the chicken? That's where you come in, Tick. It's like don't
Hey
count your
Moon.
chicken.
I
Hey,
just had
I
a
love this
yeah, go ahead.
conversation. I love this. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. But what if they're already hatched? So you'd have to count the chickens before they hatch. That's the whole thing. That's the thing about science, Wild. It is so crazy because I believe there is a higher power because we're on this big old planet, right? And it's in this big old space and it's hanging there with no strings, no strings. So it's like there is something bigger than us. And it's like magic,
Oh
right?
yes, there is an
Yeah,
idea that's bigger than us because we cannot explain it. So there's definitely an idea that's bigger than us.
yeah,
Just that if we look back in history, we had more of these unexplained things
right.
attributed to a higher power that we now know were not attributed to a higher power. So
Well, yeah,
uh,
like like for instance, the
yeah.
locust thing that happens every so many years, and they thought it was God punishing them. And see, everything
Yeah.
comes
So,
down. But the thing is people like to break down because it is magic. It is good. You know
God
what
of
I
the
mean?
gaps.
There
Yeah.
is
God.
good and
God of.
there is bad because we all have DNA. That's the one thing people don't ever sit and realize is all everything on this earth, everywhere in the
yeah.
universe has a DNA breakdown. So there is one thing, and you would have to think before humans were created, there were just stars and nebulas, and when they collide together, that's not
Well,
pain, right?
what we know is that there is energy. We know
Right.
this.
But it
So
doesn't
so,
hurt. Like when
but
two stars collide,
I'm
it doesn't
I'm
hurt.
not against you. I'm just saying that there's definitely a bigger idea that we do not understand, and so we often contribute it to naming it God or naming it something
Yeah.
else, right? But it's just
This was
also
just like,
something that we do not understand. Maybe even, and that's me as a
Mm-hmm.
psychologist speaking.
Yeah.
Maybe we were not meant to understand it either, right?
amen. That's the
So
thing is what I'm saying. Wait, what I'm saying is not that I was get you. You have to listen to the. It's like before there was a human, there was two stars that would collide, and there's no pain. Then there's humans. When they collide, there's pain. So to me, it learns from what evolves from what it created. Because I just call it the is the numero uno. Because so many people get fussy, but maybe
So,
it learns
yeah,
with us.
no. So when you say that two stars collided and there wasn't any pain, there was, but the energy was delayed and transformed into something. The pain was delayed and then skipped over and then went into something else. So that energy is always. That's why I say that your energy is so important because it actually builds your framework, and you always work
Mm-hmm.
from a framework.
Mm-hmm.
And so to change the frame is actually what I do as a psychologist, but mainly as a hypnotherapist. I'm changing your frame so that everything that happens thereafter
Mm-hmm.
or any memory that comes up in your head
Mm-hmm.
is then reframed too,
Wow.
and that changes the self concept of you. Yeah.
So
That's
you do think
reprogramming.
then when two stars collide? See, I'm different. I don't think
Yes.
when two stars collide, there's pain. It's joy, and they're becoming something else.
No,
Like
there's
when
energy. So joy and pain are from the same thing. This is the law of polarity. Like I said, when you enter the arena on the good or the bad side, you enter the arena of the context. And it
ah
doesn't matter what side you're on, you can switch positions there. So also when we're dealing with emotions, people want to feel good emotions, and we need to live love life, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff, and funky unicorns that are um,
yeah,
that are farting and smell like roses. And that's just not the case. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs that we have, the biggest success, are actually built on the bigger, larger, more powerful emotions like annihilation,
or not.
rejection,
What
but
about what would you call
frustration.
this? Like if you have a rose, this is how I put it. If you have a rose and you have never picked a rose, right? And it has the thorns, and you have that feeling that comes before you pick that rose for you to be careful. That's what I think the creator is. It does say, hey, it warns you that's gonna hurt. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
have
but
that
now you're talking
feeling.
about physical pain, and yes, emotions can cause physical pain as well. Don't get me wrong, very much,
Oh
right?
no, no,
But
no,
the,
no,
but the,
no.
but what it is when we're talking about emotions, it's energy, emotion. Literally, that's what it means, and it's the context that the story around it that determines if it's suffering or not suffering. But pain
What
is an energy concept as well.
which
Suffering often is a different thing than pain. So
this
that's
is no,
why.
what I was trying to say is like if you've never, like, you're the first person on earth, okay, put yourself there, and you don't know what's going to be what, and you see this rose, right?
Yeah.
And you when you reach out because it's so pretty to you, you get that feeling of be
Yeah.
careful,
Yeah. So
because it's going to hurt
the
you.
pain transforms into something good for you ultimately. So it
Right, but what is that feeling? That's what I call is the protector. It's like it's already telling you, be careful because it's gonna hurt you, but you don't know yet. But after you grab it, then you know.
well,
Does that
look,
make
but is it still protecting you? And this is where I come in as psychologist. I challenge these
yeah.
beliefs because here's the thing: you might have learned some things that in your childhood that kept you from being abused or kept you from certain emotions, right? Feeling abandoned, feeling not recognized, feeling how do you say that? transparent, right? And that kind of stuff. Look, that you building now a frame as a child where you get to learn certain mechanisms that were good for you in a moment, but in adulthood is going to end up in you having bad relationships, bad financial situations, bad work situations. It bleeds into anything
Mm.
and everything. So what you learned there to be cautious of
Mm.
might not work then later in life, and actually keeping you from living a more full life, a
Wow.
more satisfying life.
That
Mm.
makes
So
sense because is it really protecting you? It's just letting you know, hey, because if you
right.
jump off a bridge, it's not going to stick out a tree. It may miraculously be a tree there that catches you,
It's no,
but
yeah, it's the context of things, and this is the same thing. When we feel things, it's a story we make around it, that determines the outcome. So I can have a panic attack, which a panic attack physically and mentally is experienced the same as I would go on a roller coaster. Same exact thing. Same excitement, same brain mechanisms are playing out. Same thing. Only the story is different. In one, I'm sitting and having a good time at Six Flags. In the other, I actually think I'm dying falling off a cliff.
right, that
So it's
makes
the story around it, and sometimes we tell ourselves stories around things and we assume things to be true that are actually not true when we test them, right? And so, but here's the thing, we often don't test them because 98% of us are working on autopilot from a framework that has been built in the past. And so that's why sometimes things don't work for you out in the future, because you are working with the same mechanism, and with the same story constantly attached to it. Well, if we take away the context, that's why we work with EMDR. We take away the context, right? We put the memory in a different story around it, and now all of a sudden the memory does not have any power over us anymore. When we are just in our daily lives, we respond differently to it because what did we do? The context, the frame, we changed the frame. And so there's a frame behind the frame, and that's you and the subconscious you that does everything on autopilot, talking, speaking, breathing, your heartbeat, everything is regulated there. And our behavior is from that as well. And so when we reframe in on a subconscious level, you will notice changes in your life immediately, right? Immediately. But this conversation kind of went off a cliff, you guys,
yeah,
like
sorry,
rapidly.
yeah,
I'm gonna in the new year. I'm gonna have subscribers. It's gonna be $19 a month, and I think that's a very nice, fair price for everybody to get to join master classes on how to be a conversational a hypnotist, right? So how to use that magical power, quote unquote magical, in your life, but also doing it with you to make you see some things and be a better person. Also master classes, and we're going to do some mental diets there and stuff, right? Some life-changing stuff. And I changed a lot of lives. That's actually my mission, my intent here to do. At a very young age, that was my intent already, and I did it in many different ways, right? Not at the least at my own gym, where I changed over 600 people. I changed their lives, right? And the way they looked at things, and they're all better off for it. And because they are, I am, because that's the thing I do. So, you know what? If you make people win, and this is a frame for me, for other people, this might not be true at all. For me, it has been true that if I help people win, I'm winning even harder. Sometimes that is always coming back to me in tenfold somehow. And I get energized by that, right? And that's just because I'm in my own creation mode when I operate from that belief. For other people, this might not be for you. You have maybe a different intent and a different creation power, but never forget that you are a part of creation itself. And so you're in the arena. If you're built for creation, you can also do destruction. And so we got to recognize that as well,
Like
right?
Lord Shiva. Hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from.
I
See,
thought it
there's
was
that
yeah, I thought
polarity.
it was funny that that's the one that I got.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah. And so
appropriate.
we don't need to, and this is what we don't want to see, right? Because it's the negativity. And like I said, we want to be about the rainbows and the flowers and the unicorns. Unfortunately, when you are all about that, you have a very blind eye to all of these other things. You actually become more of a victim to the other side when you do that, because the other side needs to be recognized in order for balance to be there, right?
Mm.
So, yeah. That's the thing. Anyway, moving on. We got Aubrey on stage as well. Aubrey, how are you doing?
Hey everybody,
Yo.
doing good. Hey, shout out to Cholana down
Yeah, I
there.
know. I saw
It's
that.
Cholada.
No
No
Cholada
Cholada
for
for
you.
you.
And then he left. I don't
No,
see him
Oh
anymore.
no, he
Gosh
left.
darn it.
I was gonna play the song for
I
him.
did send. I
That's
got
too
like a
bad.
short 30-second clip of a track I made today.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a vibe for sure. It's different than anything else I've made yet. It's only
All
like 30
right.
seconds. It's I wonder if I can yesterday I was or the day before I got my music thing working on my thing. I needed to adjust my line in volume. I had it set way too low. I can
Yeah.
put
Oh, here is this the extended version?
where's the ticker it's called. Instead of what's the
Yeah.
ticker, it's called
All
where's the
right.
ticker.
Let's play that for a little bit,
Let's
and
yeah, it's
then we're
like
gonna
30
talk to
seconds.
Aubrey.
It's a quick.
Here we go.
Look at this.
What's the ticker?
Where's it at? I got liquidity in the bank.
Sounds so gay.
Counting in my lap. Snapping so hard I could get another sell off. We've been had. What's the ticker? Where's it at?
I was dying to do a version like that, like an acoustic version.
Beautiful.
I got to do
This
something.
I
is
like it.
It's
this
kind of
is such
cool.
a
You know, I
it's
kind of
such
want to
a
Lou Reed
such
take
a
a.
gay vibe.
It is, yeah.
I'm gonna learn it because I sing like acapella. I'm gonna learn that, and I'm gonna freaking sing that acapella, and
What's
it's
the
gonna be
ticker? Where's it at?
freaking.
Something like that.
Where's it at?
Yeah.
When my voice comes back.
Yes, yes, it's a vibe.
Well,
I
I thought it was had a little bit of a gay vibe
well,
to
I
it,
want to do
which
also
is
Lou
not wrong.
Reed.
I'm not against it.
Take a walk on the wild side. Lou Reed, you know that one?
Take a walk on the wild side. Hey,
Yeah.
babe. Yeah,
That
well,
one.
I've heard these songs. My name is actually Wilder, so you guys have heard these songs. And and the last name is Jackson. So sorry, Miss Jackson, and take a walk on the wild side. Say, hey, babe. Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's lit.
I've heard all these. These are cheesy
Ooh,
AF
when
for
you get your
me.
soundboard, you can do that. Queue up a couple
Yeah,
MP3s, get Miss Jackson, and
yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
take a
I
walk on
mean,
the
I'm an
wild side.
all-time Outcast fan. I mean, I'm like a super Outcast
You know
fan,
what?
Yes,
so I'm always
yes.
down for Miss Jackson.
I saw
Yeah.
Andre 3000 last year though, and it was such a letdown. I'm not gonna lie. I was so excited to see him because he's a legend. And what he does now
Yeah.
is he plays like weird, like it's I don't even know how to explain it. It's like this like weird, like trippy, um tribal music
Yeah,
or
I mean,
something.
he's
Have you seen?
kind of.
Have you
I
seen?
I
haven't.
haven't
I
seen him.
haven't.
I actually, so when I first got into Outcast, shit, this was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was super like
Yeah.
more kind of drawn to Andre.
Yeah.
And then Big Boy, though, the other guy, he's kind of grabbed my attention. His music is more meaningful and authentic, and so I've kind of gravitated more towards him.
Yeah,
But yeah,
look
Andre
up.
just kind of is a little too weird for me these days.
Nowadays he's all weird. So the new Blue Sun album, this was a couple years ago. It's him playing some weird like wooden flute thing, and so I saw him live, and the whole thing. It's like a joke. He says he was also in on the joke. I laugh at it because my homies in Atlanta, we talk and they'd be like, man, people think you're crazy to F around with this flute. And so he plays this long ass set. It's like 45 minutes of him playing this like weird trippy music. And at the end of it, he's like, yeah, man, I just made all that up right now. I think he was like singing in gibberish too. And he's like, I bet y'all thought that was some like deep, profound shit. He's like, I just made that up off the top of my head. He's like, thanks y'all for coming out tonight. And like, I was like, what is this? Like, it's a giant like joke. Like, I don't know. Maybe he has a record deal that he's
farming.
Engagement farming, or he's got something. Yeah, he needs to deliver, and he's just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna make like maybe he got a crappy deal. I don't know. I'm just assuming, but you hear so many situations of artists that get screwed and on every freaking platform and industry, but as far as entertainment goes.
Well, I think he's one of those too that just has to kind of like keep it artsy and like always like next level the weird art before him.
It's way pretentious.
And it's just like, dude, just make some good shit
Yeah,
that we want
it's
to
trying
bump to,
to
you know?
it's trying too hard to be like outside of the box, and like when they're trying too
Yeah.
hard, it's like this doesn't seem like creative. That just seems like you're like doing it for attention. Like Wilder was saying, engagement farming.
Yeah, it's engagement
And here
farming.
we are
It
Yeah.
is.
talking about it, so it works. You know?
That's what I'm trying
Right?
to.
Yeah.
Energy. Energy is energy. It doesn't matter. Negative, positive. This is not a thing. All right, but maybe this is a good segue to cleanse the space, cleanse the palette before we are going to talk a little bit about the leaderboard for Sang Token. Because if you guys just grab a bag of $5 worth of Sang and start talking in spaces about Sabal right now,
Mm.
you'll be eligible for a big fat airdrops when that launches the 1st of January. And hey, this is just another way to make the bread. But let's just let's go there. Listen to these songs. I'm thinking we need better music in the here and now, right? We need better music. I mean, every time we have these songs that are so iconic, it's just like when next, and they just don't drop that often anymore. At least that is my
Big
experience.
facts.
Maybe that makes me sound like boomerish or something, but I think that creativity peak was somewhere in the 90s, maybe the 2010s, first decade of 2000. And then there's kind of this drop off of, if I look at the top 100 right now, just for songs for DJing too, it's like generic. It's all the same. It's the same tune, different lyrics, right? And it's like, what's happening? I cannot find joy. And so, yeah, when next alpha? But and luckily we have these songs, right?
Yeah,
Luckily.
somebody, let me see. We got some messages. Dang, on retake, there's been a bunch. It's interesting stream as always. Wow,
Yes.
so much knowledge. Absolute liquidity is integral for market opportunities. We have the smart money to thank for that. That's so
Yeah.
spot on. I wished I aped a bag on Ripple as well, XRP. And then somebody said, "What's y'all bias on deciding what the next alpha will be?" And so I just responded, and I was like, anyone's welcome to come shill their project or anything they're bullish on. And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
usually the developers that are actually
Tell them Wild says hi as well, because I
uh,
cannot do the comments directly from where I'm at right now. But tell them Wild said hi.
yeah,
No, look, if you want to know what the narratives are going to be, you
right.
guys need to look at the numbers. And what are we looking at then? What is supporting the whole system? Volume. Yeah, so AI, tons of volume, also very diluted, right? When it comes to the projects that there are and then the volume available. So I'm actually thinking, when you do your own research, and you can do your own research using AI, don't be scared to use that. Go to DeFi Llama as well to just confirm what you're seeing. RWA has 10 billion more volume than AI, and just a handful of projects in there in comparison. So what would then be the best for you to invest in? Well, fucking, French, excuse me, RWA. And so we see things like real estate. We see things like these things are all going to matter. Also, people forgot to DeFi was still a big thing as well. There is tons of talk because that institutional money was coming. So anything that supports this institutional money, any project that supports that, any blockchain that supports that, yes, that's a good investment then to make, right? Not financial advice. But you know what? Financial advice, because I cannot hide behind the freaking not financial advice. Some things are better than other things, and it's based on volume,
Mm.
right? So everybody's waiting for volume. It's always a thing. So uh, tons of volume there because it's going to be used. There's a reason why people are starting to mention injective again. Injective is a layer one that only caters to that institutional money. The whole blockchain is built for this. And so, will you find a meme token on there? No, right? But does it have a great utility? Yes, it does, right? Tons of volume is a reason why Injective did so well. And there's also a reason why Injective is being talked about yet again, right? So, that's just look at where the volume is, where there's large investments being made, and it often corresponds with new technology and what is relevant. Relevant is institutional money. Relevant is AI. These are all relevant, and so it should not be um, crazy to think that these are going to be then the trends as well. See, so I think actually that are determined like that as trends based upon that. So do your research with that. And if you think the quantum computing is coming up next, so can't wait what is going to pop off in that direction. But RWA is recognized now as like the third trend narrative, but it's the one with the most volume. So, and then the least projects for it, right? So that might be then something to pivot to when AI gets a little bit too diluted with these projects. There, of course, there's going to be only a handful that reach the top there, right? So it's going to be very hard to determine and which these projects are going to be in that handful. There's tons of, because it is the number one narrative. You now get derivatives of the narrative as well, which are bullshit utility, right? You can go and have a meme coin or a meme creator, AI creator in the Telegram and call yourself an AI token. Yeah, but that's basically bullshit, right? So there's going to be a lot of these uh, code tailing projects in that whole AI section, and it might be at some point you cannot tell the trees from the forest anymore in there
Yeah.
either. So yeah, like virtuals is doing very, very well, but there's now things coming out that do more or less the same as virtuals in a different way. And so yeah, what's going to happen then? Yeah,
The
well, we
answer is
don't know.
not another protocol, you know? I don't think
That's
so.
it, not another
I like
protocol.
it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, that's kind of a ridiculous thing to say, but it's like but just making something, just because you can doesn't mean you should all the time, you know? And we see that sometimes in crypto where it's like, why was this even created? Like there's no use case
Well,
for
I
it,
said
or
it said it
so
I
niche.
said it the last week in a few
Uh-huh.
spaces. Like that's why we have meme tokens, stick, because
Yeah.
last bull run as well, there was tons of utility. There was not utility at all, or utility that still needed to be built and then forever remained beta. So went on a lot too, and because everybody was so hungry to invest, and so you get people who are like, oh yeah, and then I don't
Mhm.
have any money, but as when I launch a project, I can do a pre-sale, get money for that, and then I can build the utility. Unfortunately, what we often see is then the utility doesn't get built, and the
Yeah.
whole thing was nothing but what? A meme, right? So
Yeah.
that's why actually meme tokens work too, because they showed behind the curtain. They pulled the curtain away and were like, hey, look, there is nothing here.
Mhm.
Still we can rally,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. So the truth is, what it exposed is, and this is what we kind of talk about with Froch all the time too. That's why Froch is the anti-hero, right?
Mhm.
This is rigged against you. Why is this rigged against? Because most creators, most people who start these companies in crypto, when they launch a token in order to support the project, they got to take profit, right? But often they will see amounts that are life changing, and there's no incentive to ever build the product anymore.
Mm.
You get me?
Yeah.
So when I'm sitting on 400K and then I still need to build the business, I can also choose not to build the business.
Right.
And more people are choosing not to build the business. So I love to invest in things that usually are built already, because the investment of the owner, the business CEO is already made, right? And so the likelihood of something that when a blockchain is made, they're not going to do they do a seed round of investors, sure, because they're looking at tons to invest, but that usually takes years to build. So they're spending years on building it, right? And then it's already built. They're not coming out with a layer one that still needs to be built. That's kind of, you can't, right? So the utility needs to already be built, then you know that it's a better investment to make, instead of a token. It's be like, yeah, we are going to make this and we are going to make this, and then it forever be in beta stage, and there's no incentive for these CEOs or owners, or how you want to call creators, or how you want to call them, to build anything, because they're looking at life-changing money already for most people. So and there's no incentive. Show
Mhm.
me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome. But to talk a little bit about Sang and the Sabal, I see Aubrey on there on the leaderboard. You guys, you can go to Song Jam and get on the leaderboard there. For Sabal is now a campaign, and so you are eligible for the airdrop when he launches that on the 1st of January, and so that might be something for you to look at, to post about, get on the leaderboard, and get yourself then an airdrop, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of what Zal is doing, because he's encouraging with the Zal and everything in the Discord, and I'm in the Farcaster chats as well. And it's like every day he's posting just like positivity and encouraging people to build, and like, you know, showing them tools and whatever, and hopping on you know, voice calls and doing all this stuff to kind of just like build community and you know, encourage people to contribute. And I just think it's great because of I feel like he's coming from like an authentic place where the only incentive for him to do this is just because it's going to help him build the projects he's making by, you know, making connections and doing stuff like that. But it is definitely like kind of a win-win type of thing where, as I talk to him more about like what he's doing, what he's building, he's just super excited, and he's working nonstop. So it's really cool to meet people like that. And
Yeah,
with,
you invest in
yeah,
people sometimes, right?
yeah. Well,
More often than not. Yeah, Adam is a great example.
Adam is a
Yeah.
great example, but he also introduced us to Zal, and yesterday to what was his name, Taco, and so yeah, Adam definitely flies with some pretty cool people. Like everyone that he's kind of like brought our
Yeah.
way has
Yeah.
been like some really you know, nice people that
And
are,
I'm
yeah.
excited for 26 because we're gonna, we had in What's the Ticker, you know, you build a network too this way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just excited for everybody that's gonna show up in 26. I mean, I can't wait for all of that. But Aubrey, you have your hand up.
Yeah, so I'm part of saying I did stake some tokens there,
Hell
and
yeah.
that's awesome. I guess I'm just a little confused. Like, are these Adam, Saying, Zabal, are these all like separate projects, or are they
Yeah,
all
separate.
kind of under?
No, separate. So
Okay,
Song Jam DJs building the leaderboards for these projects, right? So we did Undone and William Racing, and Sabal was getting in there, overlapping a little bit. Now the only one that's on the leaderboard that you can get on the leaderboard of Song Jam for is Sabal, and basically Song Jam is the utility, right? It builds the leaderboards for these campaigns, and that is what Adam is doing. He's networking, and then you know, build a leaderboard like that. Yeah.
okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just like I'm trying to kind of figure out what the heck I'm doing
Yeah.
and where I should be focusing my attention, and I'm just kind of
Positioning
rolling with it,
yourself,
but I don't really know what to do.
yeah, positioning yourself on a leaderboard so you get airdropped the Sabal token, which is going to launch on the 1st of January.
And get into
Okay.
there's a Zabal Discord as well as the
Yes.
Zal, and that's Zal's projects, and basically,
Okay.
yeah, basically it's well, hop into the Discord, and there's all sorts
Yeah,
of building
okay.
on base.
Does Zal have all that information on his, I'm sure he does, on his handle. So I'll look
Yeah.
into
Yes,
that.
I'm gonna copy
Yes.
the Discord address. I'm gonna paste it into the What's the Ticker Telegram right here. This is that is
Yeah.
the Zabal Discord, and then there's yeah, that's probably good. There's also the Zao too. Actually, I'm gonna send you the Zao. I'm in both of these, and these are both Zal's communities, but one of them is more focused on building, I believe, and then the other one, let's see, this one's gratitude, education, music. Oh yeah, because also the music, and so with Wave Wars as well, that's another project that Zal is a part of with Candy. What's her name? Crypto Candy.
Yep.
And so everything that they're building there is just it's so awesome to see what they're building, because there's like actual use case for what they're building, and there's people participating. So everything that I've seen them doing over there is just really great, and they're very much trying, or Zal is very much trying to align himself with everything that's going on base and Farcaster, because he sees like an ecosystem that's developing with, you know, they encourage builders very much so on base. But I feel like it is like a long, slow grind too, because the volume is just not there yet, really. But all the foundation is being set up so that
Well, it's in builder's mode,
it is.
right?
Yeah.
And so that's very much a thing. And then you're early and you're investing in things that are um, for later,
Right.
right? Use cases. It's being built, it's being figured out along the way.
Yeah.
And I support a lot of those as well because I think that's important in the space. And I think we need to support that even with a little tiny bag, right?
But
Because that is what's moving us forward. We need to have more people do this, actually.
when I look at chains on DeFi Llama, because base is a layer 2 of Ethereum, you can't
Yeah.
see the distinction between Ethereum and um like
Wrapped
right.
Ethereum. Yeah.
Right. Oh, I see it. Number 6 on the list. So
Yep.
790 protocols on
Yep.
base.
Yeah.
Damn. And so at DeFi TVL at 4.4, and then at the 24-hour volume, whoa, no, is that
Yeah.
right? Is it? Let me see. But yeah, so
Yeah.
number 6 on DeFi Llama is base. So I
Yeah.
feel
So
like
the
base can't fail.
outflow,
Base.
there's a ton. Yeah, can't fail. There's a don't fade base
Mm-hmm.
because there's a ton of outflow from Ethereum directly into base because it's its layer two, and so that's the only basically layer two that's in there. In that top five outflow from Ethereum, and we all know that Ethereum is the gatekeeper for most of these alt tokens,
Mm.
right? It's Bitcoin, number two Ethereum, and then from Ethereum usually diluted into the rest of the
And so
market.
half of Ethereum is base, is that right? Because all Dex
Yeah.
24-hour volume is 2 billion on
Yeah.
Ethereum and it's 1
Yeah.
billion on base.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
wow. So
It
basically
moves
half
around
of
like that.
Ethereum is base then. Is that correct?
Yeah. Base over 24 was number two, Sui number one. This was the numbers from 24, right?
Mm.
Because the year numbers for this year are just not in. But I wouldn't be surprised if base took the number one lead for 25. Yeah. And then we see the outflow for Ethereum from Ethereum to Solana, and Solana then being a number three or four.
Well, right now it's number 2 on when I'm looking at chains. Solana's in number
Yeah,
2.
number two, but over the year, I like to see some yearly numbers to get
Oh, I see.
a clearer
Right.
a macro perspective on
Mm.
where money moves over the year. Yeah. Because the daily can just vary and then you get the daily hype or the daily trend and that might not just say anything structurally.
Yeah.
So to look at things for more structure, you have a little bit more of a bird's eye view. So quarterly, yearly, these numbers are more important than there for me to have a balanced portfolio into things. Yeah.
If you
I
would
really look at the
Yeah.
outflow from Ethereum to see. And of course, Solana has its own inflow from outside of crypto as well, right? And then most of these layers have that.
Mhm.
So it's just one indicator, but it's one that I'm mostly looking at because there's easier numbers there. And the outflow from Ethereum is going to be always important, especially if we're talking about alt rallies and that kind of stuff, right? Positioning yourself and like I always say, positioning yourself in life and in the market and financially, that is where the alpha is at, right? So yeah, there's that. But Aubrey, yeah, just talking about in spaces about Sabal is gonna get you these rewards. Of course, Song Jam DJ uses the keys from Lurky, right? So Lurky has the AI, the actual agent that takes that information from spaces, and then the keys can be used to get that information from Lurky, so you can build your own leaderboard. That's what is happening over there. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I
Mm.
love what they're doing. For me, because I'm kind of a normie
Yeah.
and super new to this, it's been hard for me to just find the information. I guess like a roadmap or what the objective is, and I guess I don't necessarily know the best questions to ask
Yeah.
or
No. Yeah.
how to
But then
best
just
talk
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of
So
what I was talking to Adam about. That might be a thing for the menu on for the new year to come, is to get a little bit more of structure on what people need to talk about then in the campaign and have some talking points, so you can set people up to have a good conversation, where some talking points need to be reached, especially Sabal. What is Sabal about? What is it gonna do? What is it gonna be in the market? That kind of stuff, right? And to have conversations around that might be good. Points of conversation to touch on. And so if you mention those, then you get like extra boost on the leaderboards. If you look at the lurky campaigns, they kind of set up that way. You must mention the new thing that they have if there's multiple episodes of a campaign, right? And I think lurky now also works with royalties. So I am doing very well on the lurky royalties. Actually, I'm making money just by being in spaces, because as soon as these keys are used for other leaderboards, I'm talking about these other tokens as well. And so the API keys then are used, right? The information is being used on what I'm talking about, and then I earn royalties on lurky. Yeah. So that is a way for income as well. Plus, it has a business to business for space hosts. So people can actually approach you if they think you are a good host and can hold a good conversation or can lead a room a little bit. Then they can hire you, right? And there's that business to business marketplace for Lurky as well. Also spicy bolt, so you can stake it and use lurky for leverage trading. That's another new thing over there. But they have these talking points that you then need to talk about, so you get kind of like a guideline on what to mention then in spaces, so you're not just sitting there mentioning the name repeatedly over again, and you can have a little bit of a conversation, which is always more bullish, right? So that's over there. But like, let's say for Volt Inu, we could build a leaderboard like that as well, right? I already, through me being involved in Lurky and being high up on the leaderboards there for their campaigns, for the Lurky campaign too. I have my mind share, and because I'm mentioning Volt Inu, it is going to be in the mind share on Lurky as well. So it's getting recorded, it's getting the data. And that's important to have your projects in the data, right? That's in the information stream. That is just a thing. And so that's why just talk about things that you love, right? Making them bigger. That's kind of what's happening over there. But yeah, do we have anything else on the menu for today? Yeah, some X alpha. Well, maybe then for another time, because that is going to be, maybe I should get like a spreadsheet or something, a PDF file going on that, on how to approach that, because I see a lot of people that could do way better with their accounts on X, also to make a bigger impact for the tokens that you're pushing, for the communities that you're a part of. And there is some things that we can do together to have a bigger splash when we do them, right? And I'm not going to release any of the alpha here in spaces just now. So for the community, it was best to use like a PDF file or something that they can go to, and then we can get together in a space and then just execute what's on there. I think that's maybe a better way to go then, and that would be something that pushes the project that you like, right? Doing it with the people of the community, but at the same time, it grows your account and engagement towards your account. So there's nothing but winning in these directions. And I've been trying a lot of things out the last months on X and the algorithm. And so, you figure out a way to leave an impact and to do these things, and it'd be bullish for you. Yeah. So that is going to be then maybe for another space when I have a PDF file ready, and then we can go ahead and just be armed, locked, and loaded for 26, right? Because we are off to the races almost, right? We're closing out this year, and then we have some new things to run with in the New Year's and just hit the ground running instead of wondering, oh, what are we going to do? We know what to do and we execute. That's right, you guys. It's not just they need to bring the electricity, right? It's motion, energy. We gotta go. We ain't got time, right? We ain't gonna hit the ground running for 26. That's gonna be my motto. We're hitting the ground running with new ideas and then having them developed already, so we can immediately 1st of January, boom, doing it.
If you bought Monad, you would be down what, 75% right now per my
Yes. Well,
scan?
I told you that freaking short it, right?
I didn't.
Kind of
I just left it alone. I didn't even bother. But
yeah,
it is
yeah.
remarkable because it is funny. A few months ago, somebody was like, "Well, you guys were wrong about Monad because it was at like 3.5 cents," and I was like, "All right, let's see for how long." And then of course it's pulled back like hell. And so I'm just so glad that we avoided that one. And
Yeah,
yeah,
but looky here, you guys. That's not per se that Monad is bearish.
hmm
No, right? That's a lot of
it was
when
just
things
from
have a
ICO. The
look, when
yeah.
things have a first rally,
hmm
right? At every rally that everything does, a meme token, a project, they all follow the same
A
thing.
pullback. Yeah,
Big pump,
they sell
big
pressure.
pullback.
Yeah.
And that is yes, and that's because the chart is young. There's
hmm
not enough liquidity. The hype may leave the stage for a little bit. And so that's why it often takes 3 to 6 months. 3 months, within 3 months for the bigger projects with higher market caps, you see that retracement, right? For the layer ones within 3 months. For meme tokens, this is within 3 days. So there's this rule of three, right? And so for the mid utility, you see that happening in 3 weeks. A chart comes down in the retracement like that. And so that doesn't say anything necessarily about the project though, because that's just where people love to trade new launches. That's why it is like this. People are like something new. I'm gonna try and get in early, make the access and then out. They don't necessarily stay around to invest in the utility. And if you want to be investing in the utility of it, then you always have to wait for that retracement to happen and never ape in at the beginning, right? If in any, when it's clear that the top is in, there's usually that big retracement that you can expect. And if these things are listed, yeah, open a short, man, get rich. I mean, for real, right? That's the way to trade these things. It's not on the way up. You wait for the top to come in, price just wants to maybe come back one more time but never does, that's your entry then for a short and just keep banging the short all the way down to the ground, right? So because yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game then because people love new launches, but yeah, most of the people just getting wrecked. So
Yeah.
don't trade these new launches like that, right? Unless you're loving the volatility of it all.
Who would have thought that it'd be less than 2 cents today though for
Well,
Monad? That's
I did. I
crazy.
told you I was calling 1.5 cents. I was like, yeah, look to short this.
Yeah, I would have imagined
Because we
it.
all know, look,
Yeah.
any layer one that ever launched went into the same trajectory, and that's because of the mechanisms of the market and the sentiment. Like people love a new launch, and then when it's over, it's like, oh well, this is dying, go out, right? So they're not looking to invest in anything. They want a new launch. That's why they're trading it.
Mm.
Yeah, but now when the floor is in, that's when you need to attract the investors. And if you want to be an investor, you always wait till things die down.
hmm
And then there's going to be a pump from there, no doubt
Yeah.
that the monad is going to pump
Yeah,
back.
the chart
This is
looks
not
like
dying.
it looks
Yeah,
yeah, because you can see where all-time high was. So
yeah.
it's I mean it's an easy 2.5x
So what
from
do you
here.
do there on the bottom? Is it just a DCA strategy
hmm
there? Wait
hmm
for a fucking pump, for an ugly pump to
It
happen because these things can
yeah.
pump back so hard,
It looks
right?
like the
Yeah.
Jasmy chart did before back in what like 22, 23 when your
Yeah,
daughter
well,
was
the
DCAing
Jasmine was a
Jasmy.
little bit, yeah, but
That's an older
Jasmine
one.
was a little bit different
Mm.
because the retracement of Jasmine in this initial launch
Uh-huh.
was also because of technical difficulties. So
Oh,
that's why it looks like this on the
I
chart. So
see.
that's really not a great
I see.
comparison. But let's look at a state X. Did the same thing,
Yeah.
coming below pre-sale price
Yeah.
and then pumping back almost 200% from there, from that floor, right? So and now sitting below pre-sale price again, and that's
Jeez.
just market sentiment. It doesn't mean that the utility is wrong there, right? That's the thing. Monad is a layer one. It has millions of investment money and VC capital floating in there. This is not going to die.
Yeah, but just because there's VC, I watch a lot of stuff about like Ponzi schemes and famous like
Yeah, but
um
there's Coinbase in there. There's all these big.
okay.
No, you gotta watch what VCs in there, but usually these are too big to fail
I
VCs in
I
there. They're
saw
not gonna
one
toss money and shit.
I saw one. It
Yeah.
was Warren Buffett and Geico subsidizing what was it? DC Solar. So the whole story about DC Solar and what they did back in 22, 23 is like epic. It was a $1 billion Ponzi scheme that they were doing like portable solar systems, and I was just watching. So, but they had VC backing by Geico because they had forged documents saying that they had a partnership with T-Mobile, and so they went to Geico and said, "Hey, look, we're working with T-Mobile. We just did a $500 million deal, blah blah blah." And
Yeah,
so,
that smells like a lawsuit there
yeah,
because you can't be
it was
doing
a
that,
whole
right?
thing. Yeah,
But
DC
look,
Solar, look into it. It's a trip.
schemes are going, just because of VC money
Uh huh.
never makes it 100% watertight.
Yeah.
But if Coinbase is backing
Right.
something, then you would expect Coinbase to do a hefty research, and there's a reason why they're doing it
Yeah.
with the money that they're doing it. And so, that's it's better than none,
Yeah. What?
because now we're like, where they are getting the money from us?
I,
Are they dunking back some us in order to build the utility? What's going on here, right?
yeah.
So if they have something in investments made already,
Mm-hmm.
then there's a high chance. Is it 100%? Never, right? Because look, we saw many crypto projects die over time as well,
Mm-hmm.
and but yeah, so that's where that is, right? And yeah,
Upcoming
so
property sales. The one thing that does, so I'm bullish on Estate X, but the one thing that
yes,
makes me
very much
nervous
bullish.
is when I was
Yeah.
watching Shark Tank not that long ago, this guy comes out and he has a business model that's a similar thing to Estate X, except it's not with crypto, but it's about giving people the opportunity to invest in commercial real estate, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as he gets like a minute into his spiel about what their company does, Mark Cuban speaks up like right away and he's like, I'm out. And like everyone's kind of like shocked by it, but it's as soon as Mark Cuban hears about the business model, he kind of, I think somebody asked like, oh, well, excuse me, but why are you out? And he's like, he kind of breaks down that he's like seen the business model before, and that taking people's money to invest in real estate. He's like, how do you show proof that like their money is actually, because it would be
Yes,
easy to set it
so
up.
there
Yeah.
is some when you this question actually when you are
Without the
going to
blockchain, it's different. Is that kind of what you're going to, oh,
no. Well, the two things here,
because the
because that
transparency.
question has gotten up in AMAs multiple
Okay.
times. And so when you are going to these AMAs or listening back to recordings, you
Right.
actually get these answered there, but I can
Right.
give you the answer as well.
I got you.
So the answer here is ownership. Rules and regulation, who has
Uh-huh.
ownership, and that is what they have down. That's why they needed to build their own blockchain, because none other blockchain would comply to rules and regulations in the
I
country
see.
that they operate in. And so that's why Estate X cannot buy buildings in, let's say, China or India,
Uh-huh.
right? Because they don't have rules and regulations that they are compliant with. They
Wow.
do for the US and they do for Europe, which are the two,
And
and
the
they also
UAE.
do for Dubai.
Dubai, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So, so that's why, because here's the thing with real estate. Who is owning the building? That's still got to be documented through notaries
Mm-hmm.
and other mechanisms that the country has for it and the rules around it,
Yeah.
so that when the blockchain dies, the blockchain doesn't own it, right?
Right.
So it's the same thing. You can NFT your house. It actually would be bullish, because in the NFT, you can code in the NFT all the information that happened to the house, right? It's like the house, it's the whole freaking everything can be
Right.
in
Yeah,
there,
we
right?
we fixed the roof on
Plumbing
this
be
day. Yeah, yeah.
done. Yes, update be done. This
Like
everything
with your
done.
car when you get
Changed.
oil changes done and
Yeah,
things like that, you have a whole
exactly.
history
Just that
or
you can
history, yeah.
NFT your car,
Mm-hmm.
but then the
Mine
NFT has
is.
the
My car is an
ownership
NFT actually.
of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you then go to with ownership in the real world? That's still got to have a notary and stuff, because it's equity. And so that's why it's jive different this way. And but state there were other blockchains created and tokens created, projects, protocols that were dealing with this and never made it.com because of these rules and regulations, non-compliancy. And so they first, when you are talking to these guys too, they first started thinking they could do this with a protocol on Solana, but they couldn't. They actually had to build their own blockchain in order to execute and be compliant, and so that's what they got that no other has got in crypto, and that's why uh, they can hold that fort down, right? So the ownership is in your name, yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, to RWA again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having, I think, crypto moving into the real estate market is a bullish thing. Maybe these business models are not are not that new in the real world anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
for crypto, maybe very important as a mechanism to take over and get a foothold in the billions and trillions of dollar industry that real estate is,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we need to move in that area to take over, for crypto to take over Web 2 there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be bullish to get volume from real estate, the real estate market as a whole, into crypto, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So yeah, Estate X, ESX, I think a good investment. Well, so look, even if the utility was not as strong as it is, which I think it is, and I think everybody should go to their X page and look for these AMAs, to these recordings, and listen back, because they get tough questions. Not gonna lie. Also, I'm a part of the MMKK, which is the most exclusive whale group on Telegram, and we have had the ESX come to have an AMA with the MMKK as well. So I was in a private group with them, and that we could ask a little bit more in-depth questions, because there's not many of us, and we had the time to. And so I could tell you that it's bullish. You need to listen to the AMA there. But here's the thing: this is a layer one, just from a trading perspective. This is a layer one. This is a blockchain that supports real estate, and it's sub 150 mil. What is this? Yes, right? Yes. Say E, same thing there, right? Low latency, lower latency than Monad. Look at what they're doing. Are they taking off just yet? No. But do they have something valuable? Yes. It's a layer one sitting low cap? Yes. And a layer one that's low cap like that, for me, yes, deserves a little bit of a bag from my end, right? Because that is upside potential that is crazy, and I need my portfolio to also be exposed to these dark horses that nobody knows of, and at one point will know of, and then you got to ape atop. Right, so you're early there, and then the thing is with these things is that sometimes you got to huddle for months. But I've been huddling Jasmine for 2 years before it pumped the ugly numbers as well. So that's it's just another day of hodling, you guys, for the
right.
portfolio. But I do think I'm bullish on crypto moving into real estate, because we need to grab volume out of, and they do also address the issue of how is it, because there's also going to be mortgages through crypto, right? So it's not just shared things, it's also that we are going to just tokenize the real estate market with it as a whole. So getting a mortgage, not through your bank, but crypto supported. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they want to address the issue of how on earth is it possible that we are making the most money than ever before in history, but somehow we cannot buy a house anymore.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work, right? And so it addresses that issue then as well, by kryptonizing a real estate market in that way, from that angle. So, but yeah, go ahead, don't listen to me, do your own research, go to an AMA there, listen if that is something you want to invest in, right? And like I said, from a trader perspective, a layer one sitting there at such market caps
Yeah.
are basically no brainers. It's just time that needs to play out then there.
Mm-hmm.
Volume needs to come into the market. That's again volume, right? And the volume right now is in the bear department. The bears are in charge. And I think with that, you guys, bullish space. We had so much fun yesterday. Thank you for all showing up. Be, what was that again? I forgot. I mean, I already closed the notes on the laptop, so I
Mm.
cannot hard back anymore. And of course, Wild here is doing Christmas shopping, getting everything ready, gifts. And for me, this looks very different than years before, because when you own a company, all of these Christmas parties are falling a little bit to the wayside, because you just can't make. You just don't have time to go. But now everybody's like, oh yeah, you don't have the Jiminy, so come over here and come over there, and let's do this and let's do that. So there's tons of people like inviting me to do stuff, and of course I want to go everywhere, but I can't. Uh, so there's the added dimension there for me that's different this year. And I have to say I like it, but it's freaking hella tired. There's tons of stuff this weekend coming up, tomorrow especially.
Yes. Yeah,
And
this is
yeah, right. The little drinky here, a little dining over there, but all in good spirits and fun. So I'm hoping you're gonna have a lot of fun the rest of your Saturday, whether that be morning or night for you. And let's be bullish again. Tomorrow, there's no What's the Ticker, but I possibly will do a pop-up space where I'm going to do some X therapy.
Yes.
Yeah, X therapy.
Let me see. I think I can get the outro going for us real
Yes.
quick. Here, let me
Yeah, go.
because I got the volume thing all set. Let me pull up 1000x ticker is a good one for the
Yeah.
outro. Let's
That's
see.
what.
Where the
Yeah.
hell?
It's just long enough.
God, I've got so many freaking songs. This is crazy. Because I'm going through my actual thing. Let me pull it up. I feel like I'm almost there. Oh, here's a What's the Ticker. Which one is? I'm gonna roll the dice. What's this one?
What's the ticker?
Oh no, not this one. Nope.
Wrong dice, wrong number. Let's go.
That one's too lame. We're gonna do a better one. Come on. Oh my gosh. Let me see. What do I got? What's this one? No. Here. Oh, here we go. There we go. How's that sound?
That's it. No, there's still that volume thing.
What's the ticker? Where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab. Blew the whole shot, didn't land another sell-off. We've been had, not a single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip, by 1% it didn't slip. Bullish on another flip. What's the ticker? Where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab. Blew the whole shot, didn't land another sell-off. We've been had, not a single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip, by 1% it didn't slip.
There we go. How's that?
Yeah, that was better, even though the volume was a little bit low.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you again, you guys, for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, y'all stay bullish.
Absolutely. We'll see you again on Monday, just a regular What's the Ticker, and we got some Christmas plans here if we're gonna do, because we're just for your information, Tic. We have multiple Christmas days, so we do Christmas evening, Christmas Day, and we have second Christmas Day as well, right? Which is this one big freaking party. So, so we just got to see how that works next week and roll with it.
Yes.
But yeah, we see you again on Monday. Tomorrow I might do a pop-up space if you need some extra algorithm love for X. What's the ticker? Where's it at? Yeah.
Cool. All right, we'll see you next time. Yeah.
We see you on Monday, and then because Adam isn't here, I gotta say it. What a time to be alive. 26 is gonna be our year. Let's go.
Let's go.